Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 28. I am one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and I am here with my co host, as always, Mr. Lee J. Parilla. Lee J, it is Sunday morning as we record this at 11 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck are we doing here?
God be with you.
Yeah, things might be a little off in this episode because I think we're both a little bit out of sorts, but we're recording today. I don't know when this is going to go up, to be quite honest with you. It might go up on Christmas Eve or it might go up on Thursday. I haven't really decided yet. So we're not going to talk about the Giants or the Jets in this episode. Thank God. I don't think we need that negativity in our lives. So that'll be kind of one thing you're going to notice. But we're going to talk about some things that we haven't talked about in a while, like the Knicks and the Nets, and we haven't talked about Caitlin Clark in a while, and we cut that from the last episode. But I want to make sure that we got this in for this week. But yeah, this is a weekly sports podcast, and we come at you each and every week on the platform of your choice. We're on a lot of them, so please make sure to follow and subscribe so that you can get the latest episode when the time comes. As I said, I don't know when this is going to go up. You're either going to be hearing this on Christmas Eve or on December 26th. TBD on that, but this is our last regular episode of the year, as next week's episode is going to be a best of episode that I'm basically going to take a couple of episodes, some episodes from the year and cut that up and kind of have you know, our best arguments from the year. You're going to hear my voice on it live because I need to introduce the podcast and help with the transitions between each segment. But that'll just be me doing that. And then, like I said, there'll be, you get the best of from when we started in July. So, yeah. And then just one last reminder to follow us on social media. Instagram, Threads, X, and on YouTube. So this episode is going to be a little bit different than usual. We are going to talk about sports. That's a given. I mean, I don't know how we cannot. But our halftime is going to be more like a Mount Rushmore, and then we are going to dive into the second half of the show and kind of talk about just some of our favorite things from the year, whether it's sports moments or TV shows or movies or video games or whatever. So, uh, something a little bit different. We strive to make sure that this is not, sports all the fucking time, 24/7. So, but yeah, but we're gonna start this week with some bad news because we're recording this on a Sunday morning, and we got the news yesterday that the great Rickey Henderson passed away on Friday, to the shock of a lot of people. I know, to the shock of you, sir. That was kind of one thing that we couldn't really believe, what was going on there. And apparently he died on Friday. He was suffering from a pneumonia. He was hospitalized for a pneumonia, and passes away at the really ripe young age of 65. Um, yeah, I mean, this is a shocker because I think, and I mentioned this to you. I mentioned this to you yesterday. I think it's fair to say, and I will distinctly give some examples of this, but I think it is fair to say that he was a player that had a distinct impact on both of us, especially growing up in a time that we did. He also played for both the Mets and the Yankees and was on the Mets when they were turning things around at the end of the 90s and going into 2000s. But sir, your initial thoughts on Rickey Henderson passing away on Friday.
Real quick, I'd like to give a quick mention to my daughter. I didn't say this the last time, but congratulations. She accepted a acceptance letter. She'll be attending Seton Hall next year when she graduates. So I'm going to become a
Nice.
Pirate fan.
Oh boy, fuck you.
F. St. John's. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that real quick because I forgot to last time. So Rickey Henderson, um, to me, he's the first creator. Rickey Henderson was what we call now swag. My favorite part of Rickey Henderson, even though people probably think it's like the stolen bases and all of that, it wasn't that. It was when he hit a home run.
And when he
And he
did the
started
kind of
into his trot.
yeah,
Oh, he flicked the collar. He did a little skip, and he was going around those bases really slow. And then he would like get to the right before he approached the bag, he did like a little two-step thing. Oh
yeah.
man, it was awesome. And I'm a component of the talking crap, and that was his way of talking shit. But he could do that.
Yeah.
He, I mean, yeah. Yesterday when we heard that, I was like, "What?" But because you usually hear about athletes or just famous people in general, they're hospitalized, things aren't going well.
Hmm.
I saw him
Yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
recently. I want to say it was with one of his kids on Instagram somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but he didn't really. Uh, he wasn't really in the limelight like that,
No, he wasn't,
right?
which is
Once
surprising.
he
Yeah,
once he retired, because I feel like he was one of those athletes that just did what he did, was great at it, and you knew, kind of like Barry Sanders, and then retired, and he said, "See ya.
yeah,
I don't want to be
yeah,
bothered with this anymore. I made a good
yeah.
penny. I'm pretty sure, I mean, God, imagine how much he would get paid today.
A lot.
Golly. So, yeah, terrible news. Terrible news.
Yeah, the one thing I was telling this to Lee J. So this will take you back. There are two things that really popped into my head when I heard the news. One was the fact that when I played Little League, and there was this portion of Little League that was called Pony Leagues. This was like for the older kids, probably, I don't know, 11, 12, 13 years old. But you didn't play that league at the Little League facility in Greenpoint. You played it at McCarran Park
Hmm.
because it was longer. It was almost the full dimensions. I think it was a little, I forget exactly what the dimensions were between the bases and the mound, but it was almost like you were playing regular baseball, quote unquote regular baseball. And I remember experimenting. I think it was my second year playing there, experimenting with different stances playing baseball. And one of the stances that I did was the Rickey Henderson stance, where he had the squat and the lean, kind of the lean back thing, and you kind of made yourself smaller in the strike zone. So you're not get, you walk more. And I walked a lot anyway, because I had, that was kind of one of my characteristics that I had a good eye and I did walk a lot. Actually, much to the chagrin of my coach because he always thought I should be hitting more. But anyway, so that was kind of like one thing that popped into my head when I heard about him passing. And then the other thing that popped into my head was him being on those Oakland A's teams and us playing RBI baseball was like one thing, another thing that popped into my head. And the fact that when we went to the schoolyard and we pretended to be uh whatever
Whoever.
team that was popular at the time, one of the teams was always those Oakland A's teams. And one of us was always acting to be like Rickey Henderson at the plate. So those were like two things that like popped into my head big time when the news came around. So just a quick recap. 10-time All-Star, 1990 American League MVP. He ends up with 1,406 stolen bases. I don't think it's going to be a tall task for that to be broken. But with the way the game has changed now, with more stolen bases, with the stolen base being back in the limelight, who knows? Maybe somebody will break that at some point. He's also the MLB's leader in runs scored with 2,295 runs. He played with 9 teams over 25 years, spending it, of course, the bulk of it with the A's. He played 14 seasons over multiple stints. He also played 7 total years in New York, 5 with the Yankees between 85 and 89, and 2 with the Mets, 1999 and 2000. And there's always that famous story about him and Bobby Bonilla playing cards in the clubhouse when they were about to get eliminated in in 19, was it 99 or 2000 against the Braves? I forget what year it was, but that's
Did
the
did he
story.
did he play for the Blue Jays?
He did play for the Blue Jays. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only game I ever went to as a kid in the old Yankee Stadium, and it was when he played with the Blue Jays.
He was around, bro. What I'm trying to see how many teams he ended up, what the teams were.
He played for quite a few teams,
Let me see. Rickey Henderson teams.
maybe
Here we
8
go.
teams. That's what it seems like to me.
He's from Chicago. Forgot about that. Oh, baseball reference is down. What the fuck? That can't be right. It's interesting seeing all the wow, baseball reference is down. All the
Down for
Piazza,
maintenance.
Piazza, Wade Boggs, uh, Dave Stewart. A lot of people are just shocked, which I mean, rightfully so. When like you just said, when somebody kind of unexpectedly passes away like that, you know,
I
with
got it
no
here.
really no rhyme. Okay, go ahead.
Oakland Yankees, Oakland again, Toronto, Oakland again, San Diego, Anaheim, Oakland again,
Mm.
Mets, Mariners, Padres again, Red Sox. I forgot all about that. And then he ended his career in '03 with the Dodgers. He actually was a coach with the Mets in 2007.
I do not remember that at all.
I would try to remember that, and I would be lying to
I
you if
don't
I said I
remember that
could.
at all. Holy
So let me see how
shit.
much this is in total. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 8 teams.
Yeah. Well, don't forget when he was with the Mets, he was kind of the mentor for one Roger Cedeno, if you
Mm-hmm.
remember that. Ricky took Cedeno underneath his wing, and for a couple of years, Cedeno was a prolific base stealer. Unfortunately, that never really went anywhere
I
outside
think the
of
most he ever
those.
stole was maybe 59 or even 60
Yeah, I think he did
one
have a
year.
60 year, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's it sucks. I mean, because I don't know about you, but when this shit happens, I start thinking about my own mortality. As
Oh boy.
depressing as that sounds, it's like, bro, the dude was only 20 years
Oh
older than
boy.
me.
I'm immortal, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I am wearing my Hulk Hogan shirt today, so maybe I am
Hulk,
immortal
Hulk
too.
Hogan's never gonna die.
Well,
That's me knocking on wood. Tomorrow headline.
oh
Shot.
Jesus, could you imagine? Holy shit, bro,
Will be blamed for killing him.
that one would hurt. That
Yeah,
one would definitely hurt.
ladies and
For me,
gentlemen,
that would hurt.
we probably wouldn't record for about 6 months because he's gonna go into hiding. He's gonna take a leave of absence from his job.
That's like a I will say this. Only two people that ever died that I was like really it really like stopped and like, oh fuck. Macho Man? That one hurt. I don't know why, but that one hurt. Because I think the way it happened. Remember he had a heart attack and he crashed his car into the
Mm-hmm.
tree and
Mm-hmm.
was with his wife. So that was a bad one. And oh my god, why am I blanking on her name?
Kobe?
No. I know that was a big one for
Because
you.
that was for me.
Yeah. Oh my god. Why am I blanking on her name?
Her.
Yeah, it's a her. Uh Carrie Fisher. And I'll tell you why. Obviously, Star Wars is near and dear to my
Yeah,
heart.
yeah. I didn't want
And
to
when
make
you,
no comment. I just stood quiet. I don't want to
piece of
disrespect the
shit.
dead.
So when she died, I don't know. I spent so much time as a kid watching those movies, and those characters are near and dear to my heart. So when somebody that played like that one hurt. I won't feel the same when when Mark Hamill dies. Fuck that guy for various reasons. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
we're not
get
gonna get
into.
into that because I know exactly what you're talking about. But we're not gonna get into that. But real quick, now that you bring her up, what did I tell you about this Star Wars crap?
What do you mean?
They got a new show on Disney. Skeletons in the what is this called?
Oh, I actually started watching it last night.
What's it called?
Skeleton Crew.
Jesus
It
Christ! Can we stop already with this crap?
it's actually not bad. I have to
This is
say,
it's not even about it being bad or not. There's like it's an oversaturation. There's no time. There's no time for anything.
sir, they're not. That's that genie's out of the bottle. They're never gonna go back to that.
God,
It's impossible.
you're gonna kill what is legendary in people's eyes.
They
That's what
already
I
did.
feel.
I mean, they already
It's
did,
like I saw the
dude. They're
big billboard for that shit. I was like, what are we doing? Even Melissa, she's a big Star Wars. She was like, what in the F? I'm not watching this. I say, I don't blame you.
I'm gonna. All I'll say is it's a combination of the Goonies and Stranger Things.
Oh, come on.
That's what it feels.
Come
And
on.
the aesthetic is like old school Star Wars. They actually they actually did a good job. I watched the first episode last night, but it's actually not bad. I don't think it's bad. It's not as fucking corny as I thought it was gonna be, which I was a little worried about. But whatever. We'll get into TV shit stuff later. We're already off the wall here. All right. So yesterday, from when we're recording this, Saturday, we are uh a couple of days now into the college football playoff that started on Friday night. This all started Friday night, by the way. This whole weekend. Yesterday there was what? What do we talk about? Like six. I think there were 6 games yesterday. 5 of the 6 games yesterday. Football between college and NFL. But I want to start with the Friday night action because Notre Dame won the first game in what is now the expanded college football playoff. The crazy thing about this game, and they said it on the broadcast, because Notre Dame's on NBC. Their home games are on NBC. That's been like that for forever. But it was the first non NBC Notre Dame home game since 1990. Notre Dame wins 27-17 in what was really, I thought, a fucking boring game. I mean, I was watching it live and I was just like on my phone most of the time. And I think you watched some of the replay on
I watched the record. I watched
the
I
recording.
recorded it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, what the
I
big,
wanted to fast forward a lot of it because it was just like you said. It was
yeah, it
just
was, well,
ugh.
let's start there because, and listen, guys, we're not college football experts, but people were asking for this, right? People were asking for an expanded playoff.
Hmm.
And you look at the scoreboard, these games have not been competitive. So now what's happening? Everybody's saying, "Oh, you see? This wasn't a good idea." But yet it's the same people like you said. It's the same people that said that they
Hmm. They
wanted
said, "Yep."
this. But now they're saying it's
That's
a
why you
bad
can't listen to
idea.
this.
I mean, the games haven't been competitive. I mean, let's face it. I mean that is kind of, kind of been a downside to this whole thing. And I'm sorry, but Indiana, and this is not even saying it in hindsight, Indiana had no fucking right to be in this game, in the playoff. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. They had a cupcake schedule. The Big Ten was down, but yet they sneak in. And I don't know if you saw Lane Kiffin put out a tweet the other day responding to the college football playoff Twitter
Hmm.
account
Hmm.
with a tongue-in-cheek remark about, look at this.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I know you can't tell that in the moment when these games get announced, But I thought that we were going to get a more competitive game on Friday night, and then SMU gets their asses handed to them against Penn State, and then Texas blows out. Who were they playing? I forget off the top of my head. But these games haven't been competitive at all. So I don't know. I mean, the biggest thing that happened in the Notre Dame game was Love with that 98-yard run in the first quarter
Right.
that basically set Notre Dame on their way to a win. And bro, I don't know about you, but when I watch Riley Leonard play quarterback, I don't know how the fuck this guy was considered a prospect heading into this season. You want to
It's-
explain that to me?
I couldn't explain anything to you. That game was so boring, and it started out so well with excitement. He threw an interception. Indiana moved a few yards, and then that kid got it picked off. I was like, "All right,
Yeah.
here we go."
Yeah.
Then the handoff, I was like, "Oh shoot, okay, here we go." And then it was just like everything just died.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
I was like, "Come on, man, what is going on here? What's happening right now?" I don't really, like you said, we're not experts, but I don't see it. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what he was possibly doing at the beginning of the year or even last year. Um, I don't see it.
Who, Leonard? Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see it. And
I don't see it.
well, dude, I told you in that game when they lost to Northern Illinois University. By the way, credit where credit is due for Notre Dame. They lost that game, got fucking embarrassed, and they haven't lost a game since then. So I will give Freeman credit for, and I like that guy. He just signed an extension, by the way, so he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there for a while. But it
Yeah, he
does make
did.
you
Yep, yep,
wonder.
yep.
It does make you wonder. Young coach like that. You telling me some NFL teams not gonna come calling at some point? Come on, man.
Well, he
That
was
that
right. He got didn't he get like his name got brought up real quick for oh my god, it was one of the judge. He was like, "Oh, we just hired that guy. He can't leave." What the hell was the team? The NFL team. I can't remember. But
oh,
he
I
came
didn't know
up
that.
yeah, no, we talked about it. We talked about it.
Oh, did we? Okay, I don't
Yeah, we
remember.
talked about it. He came up real quick for yeah. Damn, man, what the hell was the team?
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh my god. Yeah, he was like, "I don't want that guy to leave. We just got him."
Oh, Bears, Bears,
Bear,
Bears,
there you go, the Bears
Bears. It was
job. He came
Bears.
up
I
for the
remember
Bears
that.
job
Yes,
real
yes,
quick.
yes, yes.
Yep. So yeah, but no, he should stay there. Like, I don't like these college coaches. They you know get the this is his first chance at coaching. No, I think it is right.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Just
Yeah.
stay there, bro. Develop a program. Couple years down the road after this contract, they'll come. You'll get an NFL job if you want an NFL job.
Bro, he's only like 38 years
Yeah,
old. He's 38.
He's a young dude. He's a young dude. Who
He's
knows? You
38.
may wind up doing things with that program that hasn't been done in a while. You could become like the Nick Saban over there. Who the hell knows? But
Yeah.
if you want to become NFL, just give it time. Yeah, like you just said, he's 38. He's so young when it comes to like, especially like the coaching aspect of it of
Yeah.
sports. He's so young,
Yeah.
so young. He got time, and he seems to be on the right path.
Yeah. He turns 39 in January. So
He makes
he's
me
not.
feel old, and I'm only
Yeah.
what 8 years older than him. Well, soon to
Yeah.
be 8 years older than him.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I think, listen, Friday, listen, let me backtrack because I watch more Notre Dame than you do. Um, so I can kind of speak from some kind of position of authority, maybe. Notre Dame does not do well in the postseason. They have not done well in the postseason for a long time. So they win this game on Friday. Now they have to go play Georgia in the quarterfinals on January 1st. Carson Beck's hurt. He's not going to play. Traditionally speaking, in recent years, Notre Dame has not played well against the SEC. They haven't. They get fucking destroyed almost every single time they play an SEC team.
Not this year.
Well, yeah, but I we'll
I think they're
see.
going to beat Georgia.
I think so too, but I'm skeptical about it because again, traditionally speaking, um, they just don't play well against those SEC teams. But we'll see. You know what sucks? That game's not till 8:45 that day, which is awful.
Eight
Like,
8:45.
come on,
Who does this scheduling, man?
8:45,
Do you
bro.
know? Do you know there's a such thing as the East Coast? And you know how the time works, everybody? Oh
I'm
my
just, you
god,
know,
man! Like what?
I'm just thankful that I don't really have like real work again till January 6th. But it's just like, come on, man, 8:45. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, one thing to note about this game was that Notre Dame did eat a lot of clock in this game, where they had these long drives and did manage to score at the end. So maybe that's the key against Georgia, is to keep the ball out of their hands. I don't know. I'll be curious to see how that all goes down on January 1st. But sir, I don't know how much you watch football on Saturday, but the Chiefs, they just keep on chiefing. I don't understand. I'm sitting there watching these games and I'm thinking they just can't keep this up
I don't say that
long
about
term.
things anymore. I used to say that about the Chicago Bulls. You see where that got me. No, we're not. I don't. I've learned as I got older not to do that anymore. When they lose, they lose. But at this point in time, people that still hate like Mahomes and the Chiefs and what they do, if they lose, you don't really have a "I told you so" moment. It,
Yeah, right.
it's that's gone.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
yeah,
trying to. It's that's over.
yeah.
People still there's this one guy on Twitter, I'm not gonna mention his name. I follow him. He does have good when he talks about football, it is knowledgeable, blah, blah, blah. But he has this thing about hating Patrick Mahomes. He's gimmicky, it's the system, Andy Reid,
Gimmicky. What?
this, yada, 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 right? And unless I wanna comment on his page, but then he goes winds up going when you comment to him, he actually responds, but he'll go back to the same corny jokes like, look at my resume, then you
Oh
say
my
something, he'll be
god.
like, "Your mom," and I'm like, "I don't really wanna get into
Oh
this guy
my
because I'm gonna hurt
god.
his feelings." So I just let him do I just read the comments, I laugh, and I'm like,
Your
eventually you
mom.
have to say to yourself, "Listen, if everything that he's saying is true, ask any quarterback, would you wanna be gimmicky? Do you want Andy Reid? You wanna play in the same system?" And with that being said, you get 3 rings. What would you think they would say?
Yes.
"Sign me up."
Like, come on.
They win. He wins.
Who
Like,
cares how you do
who
it?
cares? That's what I'm saying. Who cares? You still trying to make a point? He's still winning. They're 13-1. How are they doing it? I have no idea. At this point, just shut up. If they lose, they lose. I'm with you. Until they lose, they're the winners.
They're the one. Yeah, no. That was what I texted Lee J yesterday. I told him, I was like, I'm not moving from my pick. I like,
And you
trust
shouldn't
me,
because
guys.
you already picked them. So you shouldn't move
I
off of that.
I like Detroit a lot. Don't get me wrong. I want to see them win from an underdog standpoint of that franchise being downtrodden for so long. But logically speaking, the Chiefs are still number one in my head. But I told EJ yesterday, I'm like, I don't want to move away from the Chiefs being the Super Bowl winners this year, three in a row. But holy shit, man, how the fuck do they keep doing this?
Man, I
It's
don't want to compare.
crazy.
I don't want to compare him to Michael Jordan or anything like that. I don't want to do that.
No, I see what
But
you're
what
saying.
what I
I
am
get it.
what I am trying to say is that this era with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes is their Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
They can't
yeah,
beat
he
him.
is. He is. Yeah.
They can't beat him. And like I said last year, you see how everybody was saying last year, oh, the Texans, CJ Stroud. Listen, they made the playoffs, they clinched a spot, but they don't look like the same team.
No.
Once teams learn about you and figure you out, everything changes. That's why I say these people are so quick to jump on board and yada yada yada. Yo, everything takes time. So if you want to be gimmicky, be gimmicky. You have the same coach, you win. That's what matters. And they're on the you know the path to win again. It's sickening, but this is what we got to watch.
But but this, I feel like this is different though. This is like a different, because so many people hated Bill Belichick and they hated Tom Brady. I don't personally speaking, I don't feel that same
No, people don't
way
hate.
about these guys.
It's not. But I'm talking to the people that do that. I do see them. Even
I
I've
see.
learned as a Jets fan. I stopped. Brady and Belichick, that duo, they won.
Mm-hmm.
The only team that was able to beat them twice was the Giants. No one else. But they won. There's nothing else. You look very foolish if you're talking about winning. No matter how you're talking about their winning, gimmicky. Like I said before, blah 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 blah. They win. That's all that matters. Don't look foolish. Don't look stupid. That's all I'm saying. And I don't hate Patrick. I don't hate the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you get tired of seeing them a little bit? Sure, but that's not up to me. That's up to the other teams to beat them.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I'm not
I
playing
mean,
football. If I played football, I'd be dead.
well, we are going to see them again because they're playing on Christmas
Yeah,
Day.
Christmas Day was that like a 4-day turnaround?
It's like I listen.
They must be in the
Let's.
ice. They must have slept in the ice bath last night.
I well, and I know the Chiefs. Listen, there are pros and cons to being this team right now because the pro is that people like us, I don't know, I think it's cool that we get to basically see them almost every week. They're almost on national TV almost every week because of who they are and what they've done. But the con, if to me, this, if you're talking about trying to keep these guys healthy, and then you're talking about doing an 18 game season, you can't have guys playing 3 games in 11 days. That's just me. I don't know.
I was just about to say, now that you mentioned it, they didn't just make this schedule. They sat down with the union and all of that. This was
Right.
talked about.
Yes.
They agreed
Yeah.
on it. They agreed on it. They got more sharings of the TV. Netflix is in it now. So money talks. Listen, I always say the players complain about certain things, but when they put a checkbook in front of you, they say this is a number. Are you guys willing to play Saturday and then Christmas Day? There's a 4-day turnaround. They agree to it.
That's true. You're right. You're right. That's a
They
good
agree.
point.
They didn't. The NFL didn't just say, "Here, you're playing in 4 days." They didn't do that. There's money somehow involved here, and they said yes. So I don't. Not that I don't care, and you do want to see your people healthy. The one thing I do, the one thing I think, and in my opinion, with a 4-day turnaround, I think the game's going to be ugly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that all 4 teams that played Saturday are playing again on
Play
Wednesday.
Wednesday. You got the
So
Chiefs.
it's
What
just like,
Chiefs? Denver? No, Chiefs.
hold on, because I have the
I
schedule up here.
forget. I know Chiefs. Well, they won. Is there a mixture of how they play each other or something?
Yeah. It's the Chiefs, Steelers,
Yeah,
and
and
the Texans,
Texans, Baltimore.
Ravens.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
how. So they
just
just mixed each other. Yeah, they just mixed it up
yeah. But
because
it's
that's
just
exactly who
like,
played yesterday.
yeah. But it's just like, God damn, man, we're gonna see these teams again, like in 4 days.
And
That's
here's another issue that you see a lot because I think we talked about it the other day. People complaining. I think even Danny mentioned it. Too much sports. It's not a thing. You know why that's not a
there's no
thing?
such
Because
thing as that,
because the numbers never speak to that.
right? Yeah,
The
that's
ratings
true.
are through the roof.
Yeah,
No matter how ugly football is king. The numbers are outrageous. Like if somebody could ask me, explain to me why football's doing so well. I'll just show you the numbers. Sometimes it's hard to explain basketball because the numbers aren't there. Baseball, obviously, the numbers aren't there. Football, there's no argument. The numbers are there. Football's king, man. People will be right there. If you don't have Netflix, guess what you're gonna do? Hee hee. You're gonna get a
that's right.
trial or you're gonna get
Yep,
Netflix and you're gonna watch the games.
yep.
That's just the way it goes.
I
So stop bitching.
speaking of that, I'll be curious to see how things play out in Hernandez Casa
I was
on
gonna ask you
Wednesday
that. Yeah.
because they don't have Netflix.
Well, guess what? You're gonna bring up the.
So
Oh, you can't share either, so
yeah, I can't
you can't bring
share.
your account over there. So somebody's gonna have to start an account.
Either someone's gonna have to start it. I think there are. I don't know. Oh, you know what you could do? Somebody could start it on their phone and then cast it to the TV
Mm.
if they have that type of TV. That's the other thing. Um, we'll see what happens on Wednesday. I mean Wednesday too, man. Shit, you got fucking
And you got
five,
the
six
NBA. You got the.
NBA. We'll talk about that in a bit because that's not on this docket. But I do want to talk about all this chatter about ratings and shit. And we should talk about the Celtics, by the way, because we have not checked in on how they're doing with 3-point attempts a game. So hopefully I remember that. But yeah, because now Christmas Day, you got the NBA, you've got NFL. I'll be curious to see what the ratings are for the NBA on that day when you're competing with the NFL that day. So I don't know. I'll be. It's gonna be interesting. Wednesday will be interesting. Danny, there's no such thing as too much sports. Stop.
Yeah, not that's not a thing. If you love sports and it's it's passionate for you, there's no such thing. I can't get enough.
Well, you're a sick man. So anyway, all right. We have not talked about basketball in a while, and there are some things that have happened the past few weeks that I have to be completely upfront. I have not watched a lot of Nets basketball over the past couple of weeks. Just hasn't been a. It has not been a priority. But as everybody knows, or you should know by now, that the Nets have started trading away guys. They traded Dennis Schroeder to the Warriors. They sent him and a second round pick to the Warriors for the Anthony Melton, Reese Beekman, and 3 second rounders.
Reese Beekman.
I
No
don't
one
even
even
know who
knows
the
who
fuck.
that is.
Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are. The one. So I made a note here because there was one thing. Um, I was when I was reading the Post article about this about the trade. This is what now 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago. And if you read that article, Schroeder got traded because he was playing too well. I mean, honestly, he was playing too well. The Nets are already over 10 wins for the season. They're 11 and let's see, I have the standings up.
17.
11 and 17.
They hold the 11th seed right now.
Yeah, they're so they wouldn't make it to the play in tournament if the playoffs started today. Right? They are, you look at the rest of the NBA standings. I mean, they
They're only a couple games. There's only a couple games that separates them between them and like I would even say the Hawks, who are 14 and 15,
right, yeah, they're right there. The Hawks are right there. I mean, even the
and they hold the
fucking
number 7 seed.
I
I'm
mean,
looking
even
at
the
the
Heat,
standings now, and
they're
even the
only
Heat,
three.
who are 13 and 13.
Right, the
I would
Heat
even
are,
say
yeah,
I would go as far as saying forget about the Magic because they're 4 right now at 18 and 12. I'll even go as far as the Bucks who are 15 and 12 and
right,
the Nets who
yes.
are 11 and 17. There's really not if you think about it, you go on a quick winning streak, they go on a little losing streak. Not many games separate you between 11 and 5.
No, that right, but yeah, but I mean, they lost last night. Um, I forget who they lost to last night. They lost to the Jazz, who are 7-20, by the way. I mean, come on. As bad as the Nets have been at times,
Yeah,
I
the
feel like
Jazz suck.
you gotta win that game. Ben Simmons with 15 points, 10 assists. Who cares? Can't stand that
Yeah,
fucking guy.
Dennis Schroeder was going against what upper management wanted him to do. But what you expect these players to do, man? I feel bad because him and his wife and his family just got settled into apparently he was saying the house, wherever they bought a house or maybe a condo or something,
Shit is insane,
and
bro.
then they get moved. I mean, it's part of the business. They know that, but that's the part that sucks.
Well, if you read that Post article, the word tank appears several times in the article. Like, which makes me think the Nets are winning too much
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's,
already.
it's about upper management tanking. You can't expect these players to go on the court like I'm not gonna get into this again. I don't really believe in that. It's stupid.
No, I know,
And
I know.
this is a perfect example of it. You read between the lines, like you said. I was reading some. He was playing too well. You got to go. We told you not to do this, or you knew not to do this. See ya.
Okay, but here's my no. Now we're gonna get into it. Here's my question though. How the fuck? I just I don't understand how you pull back in that
You
situation.
can't. You can't. As a player, you can't.
It doesn't make
You
any
want to
sense to me.
you want to know. And this is and the obvious way for people, quote unquote, players to tank is the way to do it, which you can't do it. You go down, you're wide open, layup, you miss
Right.
on
Yes.
purpose.
Yes. Right. 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 We talked about
You
this.
throw
Yeah.
the ball 10 feet over your teammate's head out of bounds. These things are not going to happen. So how do you expect a player to do of him or what you expect of him because you want your franchise to lose to get a better pick? Like it doesn't make sense, man. Like how do you expect anyone big time free agent to come here and you're doing what you're doing?
Hmm.
And the draft to me is not what it used to be. There's
Right.
no number one hitters, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Patrick Ewing. That's over to me. I watch college basketball. I don't say anybody, oh, that guy, I want him.
Yeah. Right.
3 second rounders? What are you gonna do with that? And another question to you as a Nets fan, if you would I ask you, why are you collecting all these draft picks for?
Maybe to land, they want to package them up into landing like a superstar. I don't know. Maybe it's the
These
only thing I can
draft
think
picks
of.
ain't worth what they used to be worth.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like and I don't know this. I'm just trying to go like trying to relate to how my competitiveness is growing up playing sports, how I would be if I was a quote unquote superstar. Brooklyn Nets call me, I'm a free agent. Yup, they've been doing it the right way. They got the same coaching staff. They're putting good pieces together. That's what you want to see, right? But I get it. Maybe the superstars they have a different way of thinking. I don't know. Like this is to me, that's stupid. That's how you wind up fans not coming to watch the games, and you got the ratings down, and no one wants to watch that crap. And it's come on, man. Like I don't know, man. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's really stupid to me.
Well, the question now is: does Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith survive this season?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I was also thinking that maybe they got to try to figure out something to where the t- just because you have the worst record doesn't mean you get the most balls in the draft.
Right. That's the other problem. Yes. Yes. That's
You
the
got
other issue.
you got to figure something out there because I was thinking one thing I had in mind was like um maybe the best of the worst get the most ping pong balls so everybody competes every night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know there's going to be bad teams, we know that. Everybody doesn't have the same level of talent that everyone else does. We get that. But the best of the worst, you get the most ping pong balls. I don't know.
Hmm.
Something's got to be done because this is just this tanking shit, this resting players is gross. It disgusts me.
Well, the other thing too, when I'm looking at the standings, let's say I don't know because what did I say in the beginning of the season? They won't win more than 20 games. They're more than halfway there. They're 11-17, right?
And if your money was on it, they'd probably win another 9 games.
Yeah, they probably will win another 9 games. So let's just say they end up 20 and what 62, right? Is that
62.
yeah?
Hmm.
Let's say they end up 20 and 62. I was about to call them the Falcons. The Pelicans are 5-24. The Wizards are 4-22. Are those teams going to win more than 10 games this year? I
That's
don't know.
disgusting.
Yeah, it is. So now you can still, going back to the ping pong ball thing, you can still win 20 games and get a like number one pick because it all depends on where the ping pong ball goes.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and I mean, in that sense, it's not the worst thing in the world if they won, 20, 21, 22 games. But I don't know, man. When you're fucking trading away you're essentially one of your best players, I don't know, it's sickening to me. I hate it. I
Yeah,
just hate it.
this is one thing about that. I just because your overall goal as an organization should be to win, to bring the fans in,
Right.
to bring in championships. It seems like they're more concerned about bringing the next hot thing in. If it doesn't work, let's tank again. That didn't work. Let's tank again. And every other every other year or so, you continue to suck. Uh, how you expect people to show up to these games? Like it's disgusting. Like losing and being competitive. Losing is different than you going and looking at the product and you know that people are not even trying.
Yeah, right.
I don't I can't explain this. I don't know. I can't even pinpoint when this shit started. Everybody goes back to this guy who I hate as a coach and I hate as a I'm not gonna say it. Greg Popovich, fucking loser, overrated ass coach. But I'm not gonna get into that. Um, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's talk about the team that plays in the heart of the city in the New York Knicks. Because when I first had this on the docket, I don't know if you read, there was that athletic article that came out and was kind of like questioning this team overall. So where they stand right now, let's just look where they
18
stand.
and 10.
Yeah, they're 18-10.
I think they
They're
got the fourth. No, the third.
third.
Yeah, third.
They
They're
got the
third
third
right now.
seed. They're 6.5 games out of the top seed. I mean, realistically speaking, you want to finish within those top three. I mean, I feel like you do. So you know, there seems to be they've won three in a row. There seems to be this, and you tell me, I could be wrong because you're more in touch with this team than I am. But just from the stuff that I read, there seems to be this idea that the Knicks are not living up to expectations. And I'm asking you, is that a fair assessment of what's happening so far this season?
It's not
Okay.
because everything that they question when they traded for Cat is a question you're asking now. That doesn't make sense to me. You knew there
Mhm.
was going to be a little bit of time, and now
The,
we see that the
yeah,
only
the
game that I'm
challenge is
upset at,
tough.
and within the last I would say 10 to 12 games was the Utah Jazz game. It was on a Saturday. They wound up losing to Utah. They shouldn't have lost that game. Every
Right.
other game since then, they smacked. Look what they did. They abused the Timberwolves the other day.
Hmm.
Abused them. They beat
Yeah.
them. They pulled their pants down. They spanked them. After the first quarter, that game wasn't even close. The questions happen. Oh, Cat, he doesn't have any heart. He's soft. Julius Randle brought that to you. They're going to be missing that. There's nothing that tells me that Cat is soft. New York has changed him for some reason. If everybody sees the same play that he was in Minnesota, you're not watching the same basketball I'm watching.
Hmm.
Now they're getting into a groove. The offensive. What Tom Thibodeau's team score 130 plus points? They've always said that. He's a defensive minded, but they're moving. He's shooting a 3 pointer well. They're learning to play with each other. They went from being probably at the beginning of the year, people 6-5, like 7-5, whatever it was. People question. They're 18-10 now. The Knicks are rolling.
Yeah.
I think. And I told you before a couple episodes ago, they had to go on a little bit of streak, about a 5 game winning streak, and stuff will be better. I got close, and here we are. These questions, sometimes these questions are asked just to create some narrative that's not out there. To me,
Yeah.
you
No, I
watch the
agree.
game, they're winning. You see the camaraderie there. The last game I watched was the Minnesota game because yesterday I was working yesterday. So the Minnesota game and the stuff they were doing on the court. You know what they were doing on the court? A lost art. The Knicks were doing
Mm.
cutting to the basket.
Oh, look at that. Who does that anymore?
Oh my! I was so turned on.
Sir, relax.
Like what? We don't
Yeah.
like no one like
You
we
don't
don't
see
do
that
that.
anymore.
Yes, the simple things that get you points to win ball games. And all kudos to Leon Rose and to oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on his name? The owner's name
What owner?
of the Knicks,
Oh, Dolan.
Dolan. He
Sir,
he
come on.
he. Because you know why? You know why? Because no one talks about him anymore.
Right. Yes, yes, yes.
So here's a question to all those dummies out there that used to bet. Oh, Dolan needs to sell the team. How's that going for you? You look pretty stupid now, right? He got out the way. Rose, take over. Do your thing.
Hmm.
Look now. No one's talking about Dolan anymore. It's all narratives that people create. That now you look foolish. So I don't believe that. I'm not worried about the Knicks, and I hope Knicks fans aren't worried about the Knicks. And here we go.
I tell you what, the schedule is looking pretty favorable in their favor. That doesn't make any sense what I just said, but bear with me. It's early. So they got Toronto tomorrow. Then they've got the Spurs on Christmas Day. Then the Magic. Then they play the Wizards 2 games in a row, both in DC.
They probably could
And
win
then
all those games.
yeah, and then January 1st they play back here against Utah.
They could probably win all those games that you just said
Yeah,
because they've already beat the Magic twice, I believe. I don't think they played the Wizards yet, and they haven't played the Spurs yet. Spurs don't scare me. I mean, yeah, they
no, they
got this
haven't beat the
guy, but
Spurs.
whatever.
Yeah, they
Um,
beat the Magic already. I'm looking at their schedule.
and Utah, they got to beat them. They can't lose to them again.
And they have beat the Wizards already. They
Okay,
blew them out 134 to 106.
come on,
Yeah.
playing down to
So,
competition. Stop it.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, we'll we'll check back in on the Knicks well, we're not talking about anything until the beginning of the year anyway. So, sorry, my neighbor just texted me about something. Before we jump into this Caitlin Clark shit, something came out this past week. Has been a lot of chatter about NBA ratings, and they're in the tank. I could tell you why.
It's obvious.
Nobody. But now, here, and this is we've talked about this before. I just don't understand. I'm not smart enough to figure out what you do to fix the game to where you're relying less on these teams to shoot 3-pointers, because in every single argument that I see, it's I see two things. The games are taking too long because they're calling fouls all over the place. That's kind of like the one thing. And then they're reviewing some of these fouls, right? You have the ability to challenge some of this stuff. So that's kind of one thing that I see. The game's taking too long. And then the second thing that I always see, it's the 3-pointers. There's too many fucking 3-pointers. I don't know. Again, I'm not smart enough to figure out how you change that dynamic. Do you? Part of me thought, well, do you push a 3-pointer back, especially on the key? But these guys can fucking shoot from the goddamn logo, so I don't think that's gonna work. I don't know. What do you know? I mean, have you had any thoughts about how you fix this situation?
No. I'm tired of putting on games. I think the I don't think it was on television, but I saw the highlights and I was like, if you look it up, maybe it was during this week, I believe. I'm not mistaken. It was Memphis versus Golden State.
Yeah, I think I texted you about one of
I
these
think
games.
Memphis scored 140 something points and Golden State had like 110, maybe way less than that. And I was just like, what?
Yeah.
If you score 140 points, to me, that definitely tells me the other team didn't play defense, and you definitely shot 25 plus 3-pointers. No, excuse me, 45 plus, and you probably hit about maybe 20.
Mm-hmm.
You found the game I was talking about?
No. But I'm
Oh,
looking at the Celtic stat that I want to talk about.
I just I don't know how to fix it. You have to do some. The challenging thing is definitely getting out of hand. It just takes too long, man. To me, even the obvious ones, they take so long. I'm like, what's taking so long? The ball went off his hand. You can see that. Like, do you change something to be worth more than something else? Meaning, does a dunk now? Can a dunk be worth 3 points?
Stop.
Bro, you just asked me a question. You want
You're
to
right. You're
change
right.
you want to change the game. You want people going to the basket as opposed to chucking up 3-pointers. That's something right off the top of my head I just thought of.
Right.
Right? You don't want to do that, but you don't want them to keep taking 3-pointers. I don't know what to
Right.
do. These
Yeah.
people get paid a lot of money to figure this out because the product right now is shit. There's a handful of teams that play the games to me the right way. bias or not, the Knicks are one of them. Who else? You got a couple here and there, but only because I only can speak to the Knicks. That's who I really watch. And the Nets. You know, the Nets play. I don't know if the numbers say it, but I watch them. They play hard, man.
Yeah, they do.
So this product, I don't know how you expect people to watch this stuff.
Yeah. Let's go back to one thing because we talked about this in the beginning of the season and we didn't revisit it. Because in the beginning of the season, the Celtics were putting up an ungodly amount of 3-point attempts per game. And you said, let's see what that looks like at whatever date. Guess what? They're still, you know how many, this is how many 3-pointers they were attempting per game 51.
That sounds about right.
51 still. So the pace continues. The second team in this is the Bulls at 43.9. There's a huge fucking discrepancy. And if you want to take it back, if you look back at last season, the Celtics averaged 42 3-pointers a game. So they fucking increased from last year. So I listen, you see all this shit about like what LeBron says and what Adam Silver says and this, that, and the other thing. And again, 3-pointers, 3-pointers, 3-pointers. I don't know what you do to fix that. I do you do something as drastic as getting rid of the 3-pointer? Probably not. That's probably never going to happen. But
That's not going to happen. You
what
can forget
about it?
about that.
What about this idea that Charles Barkley said the other day, at least from a ratings perspective, is that don't start the season until Christmas Day because the NFL and college dominate during
Nah,
during the
you still got
year.
your NBA lovers, so you really can't do that. I don't think. I think that a lot to this 3-pointer thing is like I said before. The one caveat I feel, I'm trying to figure out how I would Google this now, but
Tell me,
I'll
what are
figure
you
it out
looking up?
later. There's no defense being played, so it's just not.
I
It's
see
not
what you're
just a
saying.
chuck. It's not just
Yeah,
a chucking of 3-pointers. If it was
yeah.
just a chucking of 3-pointers and people were playing defense hard, I would understand. But they, I, that Knicks Timberwolves game, the Knicks had so many wide open 3-pointers. Like I told you before, you're not going to turn that down to try to drive to make the defender now have a better chance because he was being fucking lazy
Yeah.
and he didn't want to run out to the 3-point line. That happened so much during that Knicks Tim. They're going to take the 3-pointer.
No, I get it.
So it all mixes in together somehow, some way. They got to figure out how to. You can't eliminate the 3-pointer. You got to figure is a 3-pointer, but you can't push the line back anymore because now you got to make the court bigger. They're still gonna shoot because they shoot from fucking half court. That's one thing
Right.
that drives me nuts when they come up and
I
they
hate it.
pull up
I
to the
hate
half
that.
court logo and they shoot. Oh
I
my
hate
god!
that.
And this is not for like a halftime buzzer beater. No, this is a regular shot.
Yes.
I've seen
Yeah.
this so many times.
They call it the logo shot. I mean, it has a fucking name now.
It's so stupid. It's cringe.
Yeah.
It's cringe because there's nothing you could do to defend that. That's stupid. I don't know. They got to they got to sit down and figure something out here because to me the NBA is becoming when coaches like Thibodeau and start leaving the game and no one thinks about defense anymore, it's just going to be a three
I see
point
what you're saying.
barrage. The
Yeah.
the the 3-pointers are going to double, so you're
Right.
going to wind up watching just 3-pointer games. I hate to say it. That's probably when I'll say I'll stop watching the NBA because I can't watch that.
Dude, what it was I texted you the other night. You've got Wemby. What is he? 7'3"?
7 and forever. Whoever he's tall. That's what we know.
Bro, this guy is fucking shooting pull-up jump threes.
Yeah,
What?
it doesn't make sense. I don't know.
It's insane. To me, you know what that's like? To me, that's like fucking Sean Bradley, rest in peace. Sean Bradley, when he was playing, doing that. That's what that is to me. I don't know. I again, I'm not smart enough to figure out how you fix this, but they got to do something because I've been saying this for years. The game is fucking unwatchable. And maybe that's why I don't watch as much as I would like. Because I listen back in the day, you know me. I was a huge fucking NBA fan back in the day. Huge, huge, huge. Anytime those games were on NBC, the game of the week, I was fucking in front of my television watching those games no matter who was playing. I don't have that anymore. Christmas Day, we'll probably have the Knicks game on, right? Because it is a
Mm-hmm,
Knicks.
mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
know, my mom and stepfather they are Knicks fans. That'll be on, but brother, once the NFL comes on, that's it. We're not watching basketball the rest of the day. So I don't know. It's a fucking problem, and it continues to be a problem. Speaking of problems, we haven't talked about Caitlin Clark in a while, and it seems like every time we talk about her, there's some kind of fucking controversy around this woman, which I've never seen anything like this. So, for those who are unaware, Time Magazine does these whatever of the year, person of the year. By the way, did you see who won person of the year for Time?
I
Mr.
did not.
Donald J. Trump.
Oh, good for him.
So, Time Magazine named Caitlin Clark the athlete of the year, which, you know what? On the surface, fair. I think that's a very good pick for what that, that award, whatever. Say what you want about it, whatever. Doesn't make a difference. But guess who won that a few times? Michael Jordan. Anyway, so in the aftermath of this whole thing, the Washington Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson stirred up some shit. This is almost 2 weeks old, but it's still being talked about. She was worried about the aftermath of Caitlin Clark winning this and being singled out. So she said on CNN, she said, why couldn't they put the whole WNBA on the cover, given the talent in the lead? She goes on to say, while Caitlin Clark is undoubtedly talented, putting one individual on such a pedestal can foster resentment in a team sport like basketball. I can see you shaking your head on my periphery, Richard. It doesn't reflect the collective efforts that make the game so special. When you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings. I wonder what the rest of the NBA was thinking when they put Michael Jordan on that cover. Their cash
I
cow.
got a quick question
Yes.
with the comments that she said.
Yes.
Without Caitlin Clark, whether you wanted to do it just Caitlin Clark or just a whole picture of the NBA. So my question is, with that being said, without Caitlin Clark, would the whole WNBA would have been picked to be put on the cover?
Absolutely fucking not.
Oh, okay. We move on.
And that was the argument.
So when you
That was
when you when you
that was
when you
the
ask these,
argument.
so I don't know who this person is. I'm just going to assume she's a very intelligent woman.
She's the co-owner of the Mystics. Yeah.
She's probably a very intelligent woman. I don't know that. I'm just assuming that. But when you ask dumb questions, when you say dumb things like that, you you're lucky that crayons aren't toxic because you've eaten a couple.
Dude, I know we keep on we talk about this every time we talk about Caitlin Clark. I'm trying to think in my lifetime if there has been any athlete that has been this criticized for simply existing more than Caitlin Clark. Because, and we started seeing it earlier this year when the NCAA tournament ratings went up for the women because of her, right? And then when she gets drafted, the sellouts, bro. I went to go. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you what the Caitlin Clark effect does, because I was looking at tickets for WNBA for my mom for Christmas. All the tickets for the regular season are on sale, except for which team?
Yep, the
The
fever.
Indiana Fever. Because there's like a special thing you need to do to be able to get tickets for when Caitlin Clark comes to Brooklyn. No other team. And the only other game that has that distinction is the opening night game because they're raising the banner. No other team the Fever come to Brooklyn twice next year. They are the only team that has this special thing that their tickets are not on sale yet. This is not happening for the Chicago Sky with Angel Reese. This is not happening with the Las Vegas the Aces with Aja Wilson. This is happening for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever because she is that fucking popular. Why are we killing the cow here? Why are we criticizing the cow? That brings recognition to this fucking league that has been in the dumps for as long as it's been around. But yet we're fucking shooting the cow because she's too fucking popular. I am never going to understand that whole thing. Never.
What's
It's
the stupid
as you
saying?
like
That
to say, it's
you
stupid.
cut your nose, you cutting your nose to spite your face.
Yeah,
Whatever that
exactly.
saying goes. I can't explain it. Well, I'm actually, quite frankly, I'm tired of talking about it because it doesn't make any sense. We keep on bringing up new stuff to bash on this girl or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's very strange.
Well, you know what it is. You know
No, we're not
exactly
gonna
what
do
it
that.
is.
Let's talk about Trump. No, we're not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that with you. You could definitely go fuck yourself. Hold on, I gotta step out real quick. Just talk for a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Oh my god. Okay, go ahead. Lee J is taking off his yeah. I don't know. Lee J doesn't want to talk about Caitlin Clark anymore, but I will keep on talking about it. I mean, I think the reason why is because it's just the WNBA is near and dear to my mom's heart. So, and I'm somebody that when I was a sports writer starting out, I covered the WNBA. I covered them, and the league was not popular back then at all. They were your pockets. You had the Liberty drew well, obviously. The Connecticut Sun drew well in M. Mohegan's Sun because of what was happening there in Connecticut in general because of the UConn women's basketball team. But the WNBA has really never been something that was in the conversation, in the pop culture conversation. And for better or worse, it took Caitlin Clark coming into the league for that to change. So, it's I'm gonna mute Lee J's mic here because I can hear um, I have the ability to do that, by the way. So it's interesting to just kind of see the continued way that she gets criticized time and time and time again. So I don't know. It's it's a little fucking weird. Hold on, I had to mute you. Hold on. I can't get you back. Can you go on? Can you click on your thing there on the screen? Can
Hello?
you? There you go. Okay, that's weird. I should be able to mute you and unmute you on my end. That's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
some family came over real quick.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I had to mute you because I heard I heard in the background. All right. Don't worry. I was just going on about your favorite topic, Donald Trump. No, that's not true. Um, I was just talking about Caitlin Clark some more. Okay. It's halftime here on Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. And we figured, regardless of whether this episode comes out on Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas, it is the Christmas season.
Yeah.
So yeah, as much as Lee J hates it, this was his fucking idea. So I don't know what you're yucking about.
No, I really didn't want to do this, but he asked me for an idea and he picked the latter, which was this. Let's not let's tell the truth a little bit there. He played with the truth a little bit there, guys.
Sure, sure.
Don't let the guy fool you.
So what we're doing here is we're gonna have our Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies, and I'm surprised that Lee J even has Christmas movies that he likes. I think I know of one because you're an old fuck. um, that might give it away. But I think I know of one that you're gonna say here, and that's about it, or maybe two. Because okay, well, I'm not gonna give it away anyway. Um, sir, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Is this in particular order?
If it's up to you.
I'll say sure. Why not?
Okay.
So my first one is Four Christmases
What the fuck is that?
with Vince Vaughn and
Come on. Are you
what's
serious?
it's
Hold
yo,
on,
bro. I
hold
think
on.
it's underrated. I love it. I laughed. This shit's fucking hilarious.
War Christmas
Oh my
2008.
god, what's her name?
I'll tell you right now.
Reese Wi-
Oh, Reese
Reese
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
Yeah, she's in this. I'm looking it
Yeah,
up
they're
right now.
married. You haven't watched it. I can't. But it's not like I'm giving anything. I don't know. I like
It's
it.
a,
It's funny.
I,
I'm a big Vince Vaughn guy. Um, you should check it out. I think it might be on Netflix, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
it doesn't say.
It might be
Hold
on
on.
Netflix.
It's on Max.
Yeah, it's on Max. You should
It's
check it
on
out.
Max. Yeah.
If you get a chance, you should check it out. I like it. I don't know. This shit's fucking hilarious, especially the scene when he goes over to his, I think to his family, to his father's house, and he has two other brothers. They start wrestling. Yo,
Tim McGraw's in this movie. That's
yo,
hilarious.
bro, you're gonna if you ever watch it, you're gonna know the scene I'm talking about. When they go over, they
Okay.
start wrestling him, and they start tag teaming on him. Yo, this shit is hilarious. But you should check it out. I like that one a lot. So that's that. I put that like number 4.
That's funny. Okay.
Oh, you want me to do all of them? I could do all of
Yeah.
them.
Fuck, do all of them.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Next one, a classic. Growing up, even though I think if this really happened, the parents would be in jail because it was terrible parenting. Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
You know what I always envisioned once I watched this movie, and you guys have heard this before about the gentleman that my mom was with. I always wanted to rig the house and do this shit to him. I just never knew how to do it because we only lived in an apartment. It wasn't a
Oh
house.
my fucking god.
I wanted the
Okay.
guy to step on like little mini micro machines and paint cans at him in the fucking face and break his big ass nose. I just didn't figure. I couldn't figure out how to set up the apartment that way because it was just not big.
I can't believe
That's
I
how my sick mind works.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Oh my god. Number 2 for me, which is kind of corny, but bro, I don't know why I love this movie so much. I watch it every year like 3, 4, 5 times. Jingle All the Way
With Arnold
with Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
What?
Bro, I watched this. I saw it the other day on FX. I recorded it.
Oh my god. I haven't heard that movie in a while.
Bro, I don't know why I love this movie so much. I can't even give you an answer because it's so stupid. It's so the idea of it is simple, but I don't know.
That's
It's the second. I watch it all the time. There's a couple other ones that I mentioned, but being that I put them on previous lists, I don't want to do it again. Like Die Hard.
oh no, I've got Die Hard on my list. Fuck it. I don't care.
So number 1, I don't care what version it is, a cartoon, a play, real life characters, whoever, that anything about the Grinch.
Because you're living vicariously through him.
Anything about the
fine.
Grinch? Give it to me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm all about it, and I don't care.
What a piece of shit.
Those are my Mount Rushmore. I got a couple honorable
Let's hear some.
mentions.
Yeah, what's the honorable mentions?
Elf,
Okay.
Gremlins,
Oh, that's a good one.
Scrooged
Oh,
with
with
Bill
Bill
Murray,
Murray. Yeah,
and
yeah.
one more, which I was gonna really put on a list, but I didn't do it. Bad Santa.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Really
Bro, I thought because you love the Honeymooners so much that you would have put on It's a Wonderful Life on that list.
Ugh.
You don't like that movie.
That movie sucks.
Oh, watch out. My mom's coming for you.
Ugh. Oh, I love the movie. Sorry. I put something in my coffee this morning. I do not want any. I never want to beef with the lovely Janet. That movie sucks.
Bro, you know what's crazy? Last Christmas, last year, was it last year or 2 Christmases ago? I can't remember. Was the first time I watched that movie from beginning to end with her. We were sitting down, and I'm like, I've never watched this before from front to end.
And you wanted to ask Ronnie if he had a gun, right?
It's fine. It's
Those-
fine.
Ugh. I wonder if there's a movie on the list that I'm gonna say something about it, but I'm not sure. But
Okay.
sir,
Yes.
the floor is yours.
This was actually pretty easy. One of them is probably going to be a movie that I think you're going to know what it is, but many people when I say it, they have like no fucking idea.
What is it? Star Wars Takes Christmas?
No, Star Wars in this. So number 4 for me, it's Die Hard. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
it's just funny now when you watch like TBS shows their thing. They show, but it's a Christmas Story and Elf and all that. Die Hard now is in the rotation for a Christmas movie, which I fucking love. So that is number 4. Number 3, I love Home Alone. I mean, I to your point, the whole thing about the booby trap in the house, that whole sequence is just. When I was a kid, when we were kids, especially like myself, my sister, and my brother, we fucking laughed our asses off. Especially when this guy gets hit with the iron.
Oh, mm-hmm.
When
he steps on a nail.
Oh God.
He was all over Instagram for me. I guess
recently, yes.
Yeah, because now he just lives a simple life. He owns a farm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good for him.
Crazy.
Get away from all the fucking Hollywood bullshit. But bro, that whole oh God, I just what I like watching Home Alone every few years because it's like, oh, I'll laugh again at some of this stuff because it's so fucking ridiculous. Oh God. Anyway, so that's number 3. Number 2, this is the movie that I had to bring it up because I had to see what year it came out. It came out in 1984.
Oh boy.
It's called The Night They Saved Christmas. Do you remember this at all?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, so it was like a family that was living in Alaska near the North Pole, and the father worked for like an oil company that they were doing explosions to find more oil. And I forget what the kids ran away or something, and they end up in the North Pole, right? And the whole thing is about they got to stop this fracking, I guess is what you would call it now, from happening because they were blasting. It's an oil company that's blasting for oil, and they're doing it near the North Pole, near Santa's village, and they don't know it. It's really. I think it's a great movie. 1984. It's only an hour and a half long. It's on Tubi, by the way.
Tubi.
Looking it up now.
Isn't that called Tubi?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, Tubi. You're right.
Fucking Tubi. That reminds me of that scene in Major Payne. He's like, one Tubby. When the fat kid was doing sit-ups.
I never saw Major Payne.
Jesus Christ.
I never saw Major Payne.
Oh my God. Let's move on. Keelan, what's number 1? Christ almighty.
Is Elf. I mean, that
Thank God you didn't put it. I'm gonna wait to see if that movie I'm talking about is an honorable mention for you. But go ahead, keep on talking about Elf.
Elf, yeah. I mean, I love Elf. I mean, I know people think it's stupid, but no, I fucking.
That's the point of these movies. That's why you can't look at it that way. Yeah. It's stupid. That's why it makes you laugh, like it's Zoolander and stuff like that.
Yeah, the whole premise.
It's stupid.
But just like because he acts like such a fucking kid.
Yes. As a grown ass man.
Right? It's just hilarious.
The chick likes him. He doesn't know what the hell to do. He doesn't know what's happening.
Yes. Oh my fucking God, bro. I always love like the snowball scene.
Oh my God.
He's like firing the fucking, his arm is like a cannon machine gun.
Oh my God.
Shit is fucking hilarious. And he's fucking making things out of wood in the living room. Destroying furniture.
He was still trying to sit on his what he thought was his father's lap.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about like honorable mentions. Gremlins is a good one. I think. That's always it's funny how that one's been coming into more. People are thinking like that's a Christmas movie. But I've never seen Santa Claus, the ones with
Oh yeah, with the first one was good. The other two sucked.
yeah, what's
With
what's his
Tim
face?
Allen.
Tim Allen. I don't know, for some reason I never got in. Like I love the cartoons that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman,
Mm-hmm.
the Peanuts with Charlie Brown and stuff. What else is there? Um I never got into like a Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
That was like never my
At that
thing.
at that time, that wasn't my thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what
I
other.
thought you were gonna say one thing that I get
Go
heat
ahead.
for all the time because I cannot stand this movie. This movie
Oh
sucks.
boy.
National
Say it.
Lampoons.
Oh, bro, I don't like it either. I'm not a fan of it
Oh,
either.
thank you, Jesus. God, I
Yeah,
hate that movie. That movie sucks.
I'm not a
Everybody
fan of
loves
that
this
movie.
movie. That movie sucks.
People love it. Yeah, they
Miracle on
loved it.
34th Street. Ugh. Like you said,
Yeah,
It's a Wonderful. I can't. A Christmas Story. That sucks. The only thing a Christmas Story's got going for it is a stupid leg lamp.
right. Yes, yes, yes.
Like, but that National Lampoons. God, I hate that movie. I hate it
I
with a passion.
what? Yeah, I just
I never got into it. I tried. I tried to watch it more than once. And
yeah.
it's not.
So have I. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't do it.
I never got into it. Oh, I do like when Disney does like the Christmas Carol with the Scrooge McDuck and all that.
Hmm.
When they used to do that. Excuse me, burping here. Back in the day, I always used to watch that when they came on. So Bad Santa. That's fucking hilarious. I'm looking at a list right now.
He's in the dressing room with the chick.
I've seen the clip of that.
My God, bro.
I'm trying to see like God, Miracle on 34th Street came out in 1947. Holy shit.
Garbage. They should have left it in 1947.
Sir, come on. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones here that pop up. Well, some people consider Edward Scissorhands a Christmas movie. That's interesting.
Yeah, I would have never thought that.
Yeah, definitely not. Christmas Story. Let's see. Gremlins, Elf, Batman Returns. I've heard that too because it takes place during that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Bad Santa, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
a
that
big
on the
fan of
list. I
that.
picked up this list.
Yeah. Let's see. The Santa Claus never really got into. March of the Wooden Soldiers. I've seen like once.
My God, I hate that stupid movie. My
Yeah.
father loves that thing. That shit is so stupid.
It's so funny, like the differences in what we find good and what like our parents
My
find good.
God, bro, that dude could sit in front of the television and just watch it over and over again. I'm like, you, dude, you're such a loser.
Jesus
This shit sucks. I was like, yo, if you don't change this, I'm leaving. This is when he used to live
oh
here.
my
I
god.
was like, if you don't change this, I'm leaving. Or if I come over and this is on, I'm not coming over.
What about a very Harold and Kumar Christmas? Like, come on, are you kidding me? Holy
Yeah.
shit. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna end the show in a very interesting type of fashion here. Because I thought it'd just be a good idea to kind of, we're at the end of the year and it's I don't know, people always kind of like reflect on whatever, and we're not gonna get all sentimental on this show, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of just things that we, either from a sports perspective or movies or TV shows or video games or anything else that we really enjoyed this year. And I was looking at some lists last night and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that I actually watched that this year. So the funny thing for me, I did not go to a lot of movies this year. So my list is gonna be like one movie and that's it for that. So I'm trying to think how we want to do this. Let's start with the sports stuff first because we obviously are a sports podcast. So I think you and I are going to have very similar thing on here, obviously. But was there? I guess specifically some things that stood out to you uh, from the sports scene this past year.
No, yeah, definitely. Two off the top. The Knicks getting Carl Anthony Towns in a trade. Mets signing Juan Soto, and another year of garbage football in New Jersey.
Jesus Christ.
Because you know what, we gotta line up the bad with the good. So those are a couple that came to me off the top of my head as I was going through this. What say you?
So I think for me, the biggest thing was just the Mets this year. The season that they had, the highs and the lows, the going from completely stopping watching them. I think maybe in May and June I might have stopped completely watching them to it was almost like must see TV in some ways. And I'm never gonna forget you and I in the Milwaukee airport were in that fucking bar watching them play the Braves in that doubleheader in the first game. And when Lindor hits that home run that essentially saves their season and propels them into the playoffs, and you and I acting a fool, like I am, that's something that I'm always gonna remember because we started watching that game at the hotel, if you remember.
Right.
And then we had to go
Yeah, because we had a later fight that day.
right, yeah. And then we had to go to the airport to watch the rest of the game. And luckily we did get a table. So but yeah, everything about that playoff run, between me going to the bar near my job, watching those games, watching them clinch against Philly, well, before that, you had Alonso hitting the home run in the Milwaukee series to save the season at that point, and it was just I regret not going to at least one playoff game, and I'm making sure that next year I am going to make sure that at least I go to one fucking playoff game if they do make it, because I do feel bad in retrospect that I did not at least go to one of those games in Philadelphia, for the Philadelphia series. So, um, yeah, Soto obviously, that was a nice late year Christmas present. And yeah, I think I do put the Giants up there because it's been
You
such a
have to.
shitty fucking season.
This is one of their worst. This is one of their. This could be their worst year ever as a franchise.
This is yeah, and we'll see what happens. It's we're about a half an hour from kickoff as we're recording this. Um, I'm not gonna watch the game. I've
I
got
am.
I've got better things to do
I
today.
don't. Today's my rest day, and my body will be resting while I drink Mad Elf. Real quick, trivia
Yes.
question. Being that you just mentioned
Okay.
the Giants,
Yes.
um, this was the first year since 1992
Oof.
that
Iterate.
4 quarterbacks got put into a game to play a snap, 2 snap, whatever, how many snaps. Not start a game, just play in the game. Can you name the 4 quarterbacks in 1992?
Who was the head coach? Ray Handley. Was this the Ray
I
Handley era?
want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Let
I
me
actually
look it
got the
up.
question when I heard this.
Let me look it up because I want to see who the coach was. Ray Handley, because I'll probably be able to guess at least. You said 4 quarterbacks in a season or in a game.
In the season, played in the season.
When was he the Giants head coach? 91 to 92. And what year was this?
92 was the last
Okay,
time it
so
happened besides this year, obviously.
so
Because this year, remember, was Daniel Jones, Locke, DeVito, and
I'm
Boyle.
Boyle. So Dave Brown,
That's one.
uh, Ken Graham.
2.
Oof.
I can't believe those are the first 2 you got.
Yeah, because they're the easiest ones. Damn. 92. Larry's probably yelling at me right now. I'm surprised that you think that those are the two. No, those distinctly those years. Dave Brown and Ken Graham are the fucking. They were two of the worst quarterbacks in Giants history. Goddamn. I know I'm not gonna get any of these other two. I'm trying to think who the fuck else was there.
Do, 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 do.
Ken Graham, 92. Ah, I give up. Who are the other two guys?
Phil Simms,
Oh, he was there that year?
Jeff Hostetler.
Get the fuck out of here. Really?
Phil Simms started. I think he got hurt. Hostetler came in. I don't remember how the Graham and Brown wound up playing games.
Wow. That fucking surprises me. I thought they were already past those two guys at that point.
No, not passed away. They still alive. What's wrong with you? No,
No, you
no.
piece of shit.
No, they were
Wow.
still there. Yep.
They were still there?
Yep.
Holy shit, bro.
So I just wanted to throw
Wow.
that out there real quick.
That's
So
a good
that's
one,
that.
though. Yeah, because I would have never guessed that Sims and Hostetler were there. Because I thought it was already they were already gone by that point. Holy shit, that's crazy. Anyway. Yeah, I don't really have anything else, to add to that. It's always good seeing the Yankees lose too. I guess I'll put that up there. Fuck those guys. All right. Sir, movies that you saw this year. I know you saw one of them recently. I don't know if that's on your list, but what are
Gladiator?
some yes,
Nah,
Gladiator 2.
two movies that I enjoyed this year were the A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah, that's on my list. I gotta see that.
I just like the whole series.
Yeah,
It's really
it's a good
good.
one.
I don't
Yeah.
care what anyone says. You can fuck off. I like it. And another one that I really enjoy. People are like, I didn't get the storyline. I mean, movies like that, there's really no storyline, and that movie is Deadpool and Wolverine. You just go
Yeah,
there for
right. Yeah.
to read the funny jokes that if you have a little bit of brain, you would get what they're saying, so you can laugh at it because they really not nowadays. You get
Yeah.
canceled, quote unquote, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. There was plenty of those
Exactly.
jokes in there.
There were.
Listen. I enjoyed Deadpool Wolverine. I
So
don't
did
care what
I.
anyone. People were like, I didn't get the storyline. There's really no storyline. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
to me, when there's a movie like that, that doesn't make sense to me. It
This is
is
not
what's on the screen and what you're getting. That's what it is.
this is not Schindler's List,
Yeah, this is
guys.
not,
I mean, come on. Like seriously.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like it was some of the comments I saw on X. It was like so stupid. I was like,
I
this is
I,
what
I
you were
saw the same
expect. This is
thing.
what you were
Yeah.
expecting when you went to go see this movie. They didn't have to get. They didn't even really have to create a storyline. They could have
No,
just
they
went on
didn't.
screen, made mad jokes, fought, and it would have been over, and it would have been good to
Yeah.
me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie. I went twice to see it. I don't really care. Call me what you want.
Oh, you went twice. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I took my kids once, and then me and Mel went.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to think like I didn't see a lot of movies this year. Like I cannot remember one except for Deadpool and Wolverine. And like you, bro, I was laughing my ass off the whole fucking time watching that fucking
Yeah,
movie.
so was I.
And then, they had the cool cameos are in it,
Hmm.
you know. Uh just spoiler alert. Just saying, spoiler alert, Blade's in it. You got fucking Wesley Snipes is in the
If you
fucking movie.
if you, we got to figure out what's the time limit of spoiler alerts. You haven't
Ah,
watched that yet? Come on.
if I'm giving you a warning, just know that I'm spoiling it for you. Who else was in that? Chris Evans was playing fucking uh Human Torch. Uh Channing Tatum, right? That's his name, right?
Yeah,
He was playing
Gambit.
Gambit.
He was actually pretty good. I liked his accent and all of that shit.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner was back as fucking Elektra. Who was the other? Was there somebody? There was somebody else. This guy came back and played Sabretooth from the old Wolverine
Yep.
movies. Like
Hmm.
it was cool, like it was. But again, like the story, yeah, yeah. Don't forget they remember there was that part in the movie where they're at the time, whatever the fuck it's called,
Hmm.
TVA, and you see Thor crying on
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
screen.
yeah.
They said that they were eventually that's gonna get addressed in a future movie. So there's your fucking story, motherfuckers. But yeah, bro, there's so many. I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to go see Gladiator this week because I have not seen a lot of movies this year, and Alien Romulus is on Hulu now. So
Yeah,
uh
that was okay. Well, It's worth watching on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm gonna no
I'd
because
say that.
I do like the Alien movies, so I definitely want to check that out.
There's some new movie on Netflix I'm going to check out called Carry On. I think it's called
Oh,
Carry On.
sir, can I say something about
It
that?
looks like a bootleg Die Hard.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you brought it up. You know why? Because this is
With a
why
little bit of I guess a little bit. There's yeah because besides the first Die Hard, I don't remember the other ones because I didn't really enjoy any of the other ones because the second one was the one that took place in an airport, and I don't
yes,
remember the storyline.
I do kind of.
But those
Wait,
to
so
me are dead.
you don't like the third one? I love the third one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, it was okay. I just think like something like Die Hard's a simple storyline, a lot of action at that time. His character, Bruce Willis's character,
Yes.
I think that was good right there. But sometimes, like I said, when you have a good first movie, you can't help it but to make more, especially if you already have them in line. So you're gonna make them.
Yeah, that's true. So I will say about this. What's it called? Carry On.
I think it's called Carry On.
So I was scrolling. I was scrolling. A couple of nights ago, and something triggered me. There was like this thing that said, "Oh, look at the movie that people are talking about that they're saying is better than Die Hard."
Don't do that.
Guys, stop,
Don't make me
please.
not watch the movie.
I swear to God, this was like
Don't do
the,
that.
the fucking on the picture. Oh, this is better than Die Hard. I'm not watching it now. Fuck you. Fuck off.
Don't
You
do
lost
that.
me. Yeah.
Is it
Anyway.
is he running through the airport barefoot in glass? You bitch. Enough said.
Jesus Christ. Okay. TV shows. I think you and I are gonna have at least two of the same ones. I saw more TV stuff this year. By the way, before we go on, I want to ask your opinion. Did you watch the Superman trailer?
Yeah, my brother sent it to me.
What do you think?
I don't really want to give that opinion at this moment in time.
What a fucking piece of shit! What? Sir, this is what this podcast is about. Is to give our opinions that people might not agree with. You're not feeling it, are you?
It's not that I'm not feeling it. I told my brother, oh my God.
Just say it.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
wind up watching it, so let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's decent.
I will say one thing. It to me it does kind of have that old school feel in a way. The problem is Superman is a very tough character to like. I don't know. It's so much more different than like Batman. I like Batman because it's like the brooding, you know, character, dark and shit. And Superman's supposed to be all about like positivity and stuff, which sometimes I
At
don't
least at
like.
least Superman has a superpower. Batman
Yeah.
doesn't.
Well, that's why I like Batman because he's a normal guy. You know what I mean? He's like you and me, just without the, we don't have the billions of dollars like Bruce Wayne. Anyway, okay, shows. Do you want to go
Go
ahead
ahead.
and okay? So this is easy for me. The three shows that really stood out. I'll go in reverse order. Uh Number three, Fallout. I really, I think as someone who never really played the video game, I don't know people. I don't think people knew what to expect. But here's the mark of a good show: when a show like that, that's based off a video game, has universal appeal, and it seemed like everybody who watched that show, whether they played the video game or not, or didn't know anything about it, that it wasn't a video game, they liked Fallout. That's when you know you have a good show. It's kind of the same thing with like when Daredevil came out.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil was a great fucking like Marvel TV show, but it was just a great TV show in general. And there's another one on this list that I'm going to say that was the same thing, and I think you know what that is. So that's number three. Number two, Shogun. Fucking loved it. That was really like well done. I wasn't crazy about the ending. And there's like, I don't know, are they making a season two? I forget. Wasn't
They
there talk
probably
about
will.
them about
But I
making a
haven't heard
season
anything
two?
about it.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming
Um,
that.
yeah. I think Shogun was really fucking well done, and it's kind of like that historical fiction type of stuff that that made me like look up some certain things about you know the way that the Western world would go over to the East and
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
share their religion and stuff like it was really I thought that part of it was like really interesting. Uh and then number one, the fucking Penguin, man. Holy shit. That fuck you, IGN, first of all. You know why I say that? Because every time an episode of Penguin came out, they were giving it like middling scores. This is why you have to watch. This is why you have to watch things with your own eyes. Because I don't think that there was one episode of that show that I was disappointed in. And it was also another situation where not only was it a great comic book TV show, it was basically the fucking Sopranos, in this universe
Hmm.
in a lot of ways. It was a great fucking show. Like I don't if these two people don't win Emmys, Colin Farrell and what the I forget what her name is.
Yeah, I don't remember her
Um
name, but I know
yeah.
you're talking about
Like
this
if
girl.
they
This
don't
girl. The daughter of this dude.
yeah. Um if they don't
The
win
daughter. Yeah.
Emmys, yeah, she was in How I Met Your Mother. If they don't win Emmys for how they portrayed their characters, especially Colin Farrell, then to me that's stupid. But yeah, those are like the three shows that and shout out to the and we're not going to talk about this week. We'll talk about it when we get back from the break. I finished watching the Aaron Hernandez thing on Hulu. That was fucked. Highly recommend to anybody because the funny thing about that whole thing is that was a blind spot in my like because I was living in Chicago when all that shit went down. So it wasn't as prevalent in the news as if I was living on the East Coast. So a lot of that stuff that happened in that show that they explained, I didn't fuck I had no idea. So shout out to the Aaron Hernandez show on Hulu. But sir, what about your
I tried to do it. Aaron Hernandez. I couldn't do it.
sir, what
I turned
about
it off
your
after second episode.
after which episode?
Number 2.
Oh.
I'm out on that. I didn't really go through any titles or anything like that because everyone knows on spin dial is and on redial on spin is reality television. I can't get enough of it. God, I love every fucking minute of that shit.
You're
I
funny.
love to watch chaotic relationships. I like to watch relationships crumble. I'm all about the doom and gloom when I watch two people that wonder why their relationship is tumultuous. I'll tell you why, because you're all psychotic and you do stupid shit. That's why. It's your own fault. It's no one else's. Your fault.
God.
Okay? One show that I really do enjoy was the third season. I just finished watching it. It's called The May of Kingstown. It's on
Oh
Paramount.
yeah.
It's with Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it's just this family that they kind of act like mediators. It's a fictitious town created in Michigan, and the main business is like incarceration. But they like mediators between like the correction officers, the
Interesting.
warden of the jail, the different groups in the street, like the Russians and the blacks, and they trying to keep peace between that by also doing shit they're not supposed to be doing. It's
Okay.
it's right on my alley. She comes into the living room, she's like, she just turns around and walks away. So I mean,
That's hilarious.
there's some other stuff that I'm like the Fallout. I did enjoy that. I didn't play the
Mm-hmm.
video game. I did enjoy that. Penguin, I haven't finished watching. Um,
What? We haven't finished watching that yet?
no, we told you this already,
Oh
bro.
my
You let the
fucking
cat
god!
out of
Yeah,
the bag.
that was like a month ago.
I told you let the cat out of the bag. Me saying it now, she's gonna hear this. I was trying to watch it because she wasn't watching it, and then try to tell her I didn't watch it, so then we could watch it. But then you answer that. Then you asked me that night, "What episode are you up to?" I'm like, she's like, we finished only episode 1. I was like, yeah, we only finished episode 1.
Sir, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not supposed to be your,
You're
you
supposed
gotta
to read text messages, you fuck.
you're talking to an old man here.
Jesus Christmas. But Yeah, that's about it when it comes to the shows or anything like that. I'll get into a little reality TV because there is some things that come up in reality television. Listen, I know it's fake. I get it.
Yeah.
That's not the everyone. That's everyone's argument to me. That's not why I watch. I
Yeah.
watch because my mind works a little differently
Yeah, it does.
amongst amongst even friends, family, or just people I see on the outside. These topics that they talk about and they do, these people live like that outside.
Right. Yes. Yes. I
And
see what
that's
you're
the
saying.
part I'm like, that's not normal. That's red flaggish.
Yeah.
Why are you people doing things like this?
Yeah. I
And
agree.
that's what I like to see. And this is why I watch, not because I think it's real. No, that's stupid.
Right.
But yes, that's the rundown there.
Okay. That's funny. All right. Video games. I had to
There's
work
only
out
one for
one.
me,
Which is that?
which was the debut was the college football.
Oh, the college football game. Yeah. I actually have not been. I have not been
Now, I
playing
mean, I
that.
just recently got on the other day. I played Madden. I've been so busy working, other stuff that I finally got to like sit down and play one game. But I haven't played
Mm,
besides that game. I haven't played in months.
yeah. So I'll go through a quick list here because I obviously play more than Lee J does. I'm playing through Indiana Jones right now on Xbox. That's really fucking good. That's gonna actually be coming to PlayStation in April. So look out for that if you're interested. A lot of puzzles, which is not my thing, but
So like a
I'm
Drake's
only
Fortune,
it's kind of like, yeah,
which I
it's
love
like
that game.
yeah, it's like Uncharted. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
Uncharted.
forget.
Yep.
Don't forget Uncharted is based on Indiana Jones. So I've been playing that. That's like the big thing I'm playing right now. And then on PlayStation, obviously college football. Uh I went through Cyberpunk again, second time I played through it again. This time was a female character because I wanted to see what the difference was. Um, the voice acting is better if you play as a female. I'll just tell you that. Uh, I finally played a Final Fantasy game for the first time this year,
Ugh, that game sucks.
and that was Final Fantasy 16.
Oh my god.
So, got my Weeb in on PlayStation, and then also I played Stellar Blade, which is really hard. So, anything else that stands out on PlayStation? I played Banishers. That was okay. Helldivers 2. That was fine. Kena Bridge of Spirits. That was in a backlog. I played that as well. That was pretty good. That was like you playing Zelda, but with a female. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that stood out. Oh yeah, that Star Wars Outlaws game. I had to stop because it was trash.
Yeah, I regret buying that game.
Yeah, I gotta. They
I'm
made it.
only happy because I got it on sale at Amazon, but that game stinks.
They uh, they did make a lot of improvements to it, so I do want to go back and try it again. But that's not going to happen until the new year because I'm busy with Indiana Jones right now, and that'll probably I don't know, I'm going to play that today. Try to finish that in a couple of days. Um, so anything else that stands out to you from this year?
No, that's about it. I think we hit everything on the head right there.
Yeah, the only other thing for me is I just finished reading Project Hail Mary, which is the book by the guy who wrote The Martian. Did you see The Martian?
I have not, but I do
With
want to see that.
Yeah. So it's the same kind of, it's that grounded like sci-fi, but they're making this into a movie too. And I'm gonna be very curious to see how they do this because the Martian's very complicated, like from the science perspective,
Hmm.
and so is this book. Like I'm not smart enough to read some of this stuff, but that's not the point. It's like the story is really where it's at. But yeah, I highly recommend reading that, and then it'll probably be a good movie. I mean, The Martian was pretty good, and I read The Martian before I went to go see the movie because I want to. That's just the way I go. Oh, one other thing too, I forgot honorable mention for TV shows: House of Dragon season 2. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I got to still watch that.
Yeah, that was uh that was pretty good. So yeah, that is gonna do it for us this year. We get through 28 episodes, normal episodes. Yeah, I just want to take time to thank everybody for the support so far. I think I've been a little surprised by how many downloads and interactions that we've had so far in a short amount of time. And hopefully that only continues in the new year. Um, there are some things that I want to do better, but it's just a matter of finding the fucking time to do it. Guys, don't forget we work fucking full-time jobs.
Hopefully this week or so helps a little bit. I got a
Yeah.
couple of days off, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I'm gonna start thinking of some stuff and putting it into motion in my mind because there's a lot going on in my head, guys, that you guys are not privy to and will never be privy to.
Yeah, I mean, same here. It's hard to. I will say, like for me, it's hard to. You and I are both in front of a computer screen all day, every day, right? And it's hard to look at another screen to figure out like podcast shit after being in front of a screen for 8-9 hours a day. It's very difficult to do. Um, but like Lee J said, I think this week will help, and next week too. Because I do have some things that I want to do. I talked about like the Spotify thing that they do clips on Spotify now. I want to test that out to kind of see if there's anything we can do there. Some stuff on YouTube as well, because we are on YouTube. We record these things on video to make our clips. So, hopefully there is some things on the horizon for 2025. I will say one thing before we do go for the year is that if you do enjoy the show, to please share it with somebody that you think might enjoy the two dummies that we are on this show. So that's kind of one thing I'm going to urge people to do more of in 2025 is just share an episode. If you find it funny or God forbid useful, just do us a solid and share that out. Uh, sir, any final thoughts here before
Nope,
we
I got
go?
8 more minutes. It's almost football time, baby. Be miserable on another Sunday.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. Two dummies that just watched a sports podcast between friends. I am Will Hernandez here for Mr. Lee J. Perilla, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Take care.
For my Spanish people, Merry Crima. Happy New Year. Later.